So, as you guys know, I love a good satanic panic, so that's what we're going to cover first today. So, Zack Brown Band, fronted by country superstar, you guessed it, Zack Brown, has fallen out of favor with their fan base. And because they're in country music, I think you can imagine their fan base consists more of the normie, conservative leaning, Christian variety. They do not like what they're seeing from Zack Brown Band. So they just begun days ago a limited engagement at the Las Vegas Sphere, and they introduced some brand new visuals for this new musical era, and it's disturbing quite a few of their fans. Zack Brown Band on X posted about their opening night. What a ride. After dreaming this one up for a long time, it feels surreal to finally live it. We've played a lot of shows, but nothing like this. Grateful for everyone who showed up, and we can't wait to do it all again tomorrow night. And I guess it's only relevant to that first picture there. You can see one of the images that they projected onto the Jumbotron. It's this giant skeleton wearing a wide brim hat, which is similar to the one that Zac Brown wears. And maybe that's meant to represent him. It looks like he's underwater and he's about to, take the bait on a fishing hook. It's hard to tell exactly what that means. And then there were some other stills from the concert that were included in this Daily Mail article. Country music star Zac Brown accused of showing satanic-like ritual to fans during Las Vegas concert. So you can also see this image of a skeleton closer up wearing what some people have called a crown of thorns. It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, or you know what it is? I never knew the difference. What was the difference between stalactite and stalagmite?
Actually, it does. Whatever that is, I don't know the difference either, but it does look like that.
That's
it
what
looks
it looks like
sort of
to
a
me.
crystal crown of some sort that's being worn by this skeleton character. He's also surrounded by flames and smoke and the whole audience. It looks like that scene in K-pop Demon Hunters where they're getting hypnotized by the boy band.
Yep, there it is.
And then other images that are sort of, I don't know, reminiscent of hell or the pop culture idea of hell.
Yeah,
there's this levitating figure.
How does the pop culture idea of hell differ from the biblical idea of hell?
Well, one thing I was just thinking about recently is the lighting concept, because I know this sounds so ridiculous, but obviously a lot of the pop culture idea of hell has to do with like these flames and it's orange and red and smoking everywhere. But I would say, if I had to guess, I'm not saying I have the theological authority to say, but my guess would be that the real hell does not have this delicious incandescent yellow light bathing the whole atmosphere. I would guess that it looks more like hospital lighting, like blue lighting that makes you, just absolutely depressed.
Yeah, so have you seen the meme that goes around? It says like the movie Drive was one of the last movies to be made when you still had like the yellow lighting on streetlights.
Yeah,
and then after that.
Yeah.
So hell isn't the yellow street lighting. Hell is the cold, white hospital light that just leaves you depressed. Like it's literally, it's not the IRL studio, because the IRL studio is a different type of bright lighting. But like there's a reason when I go on IRL, I take my glasses off because I literally get a migraine. And I think it's because the light's coming down from above. And it goes, so it's like it catches between the glasses. I don't know what it is about the lighting in that studio. I've never had that issue at any other place, because I've been to other places that have like that bright studio light directly on you. It's never comfortable. But I imagine that the lighting in hell is a lot like either the cold hospital lighting or the lighting in IRL.
Yeah, the IRL lighting is notoriously harsh and intense and hard to tolerate. But it looks like the Zac Brown Band is kind of, I don't know, in their Sam Smith rebrand era, if you could call it that. I'm not familiar with their music. I wouldn't call myself a fan. I don't even know if I could name a song, but they mentioned one of his hits is called Chicken Fried.
Yeah.
So that's about as stereotypical as you can get. I also wanted to show this video from an Instagram creator explaining more of the visuals that were shown in the Sphere.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull
some people think that he did this, that Zac Brown did this as sort of an initiation ritual into the mainstream, which is funny because country music is already mainstream, but whatever.
All right, here we go.
Let's take a look here.
Turn the volume on.
5 where now country concerts are demonic. This is the Zack Brown Band. I've never heard of them, but they recently just played at the Sphere. Now, I don't know if this is some type of initiation to go mainstream or even to play at the Sphere, but people said they literally felt like they were getting dragged through the gates of hell.
The music is doing all the heavy lifting on
I
this.
know.
This
I know,
concert
it's, like,
starts
so
off
spooky.
with a little boy inside of a red door in his bed. I'm not sure who this is supposed to resemble, maybe the lead singer or something. After this, they take you through a jungle or woods with portals everywhere. And then after that, you see the boy in front of the red door, but now it's on fire. And this literally looks like the door to hell, because after this, it starts to get really dark. You see this really big skeleton, and there's flames around him in this big kingdom, and he's wearing this crown. And then eventually you're going to see that the lead singer is wearing that same crown, and then things start getting a little crazy. Just notice at the very end, you start to see the fallen angel. I'm not sure if this is supposed to represent Lucifer himself, but there's a lot of symbolism here, and you can watch it back and see what you can pick out. But I've never seen a country concert be this demonic in my entire life.
Okay,
Well,
so that end frame there that he showed, I suppose that was part of the visuals that they have on display at the Sphere. He may not recognize it. He's not familiar with the band. He's probably not familiar much with Christianity either. But that, from what I could tell, was literally an animated figure of Saint Michael the Archangel,
Okay.
casting his blade at Satan.
Okay.
So I don't think that in and of itself is demonic. But you know, I saw a ton of comments from their fans saying, you know, you've lost me as a fan. I'm never streaming you again. You've gone mask off. One of them said, why is there a satanic vibe? Being woke will destroy your career. Enjoy the ride to the end of what you had. Bye bye. Then another one.
Is it that serious?
I honestly don't think it's that serious. I think it's probably them grasping at straws to stay relevant, and this is their idea of what it looks like to be like edgy, like to be cutting edge. I looked more into it and like why they made these aesthetic decisions, and it says in this piece in People, through the skeletal imagery, though the skeletal imagery is only present for a moment in the promotional reel for their show, its use made sense in the context of its accompanying song, Animal, which contains lyrics such as, flesh and blood and bone and rage will tear till nothing's left. Fire is my spirit and the earth, it is my flesh. And they say the choreographed visuals chosen for the Sphere performance are a nod to Love and Fear, that is the album, and what Zack Brown has described in his statement as the duality we all carry. Love and fear push us, challenge us, and shape who we become. These songs reflect the highs, the lows, and everything in between. From darkness to light, from pain to joy, I realized I could create something that connected my journey to others. I stand up here and look into your faces. I see myself in your eyes. We're all sharing in this human experience. Life is hard, but we're going to be okay. This was this monologue that he delivered at the inaugural concert at the Sphere. I believe we are exactly where we're supposed to be, but time stops for none of us. So no more darkness. Bob Marley said, from the darkness there must come out a light. No destinations, no regrets, no more fear. It's F yes or it's no. It's the only remedy, so let's go. Like, what even does any of that mean? I think that this guy just doesn't know, how to stay relevant or like fill the desires of his marketing niche.
No, you know what it is? It's Greta Gerwig trying to explain feminism.
Maybe even worse.
Like it's
than
Greta
that.
Gerwig when she did her 20-minute spiel about the feminism in Barbie, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you just said." Like,
yeah, it's a reach for sure. Like, I'm not one to usually say it's not that deep. I actually do hate when people say that because I feel like everything is that deep or more deep than we realize. And I think the world is incredibly complex and meaningful, and I care about every last part of it. And that does suit me well for a show like this. But
well, I wonder sometimes if part of this is just he's in an industry where it's unbelievably secular, and the people who are creating the art, like that art in those like images was unbelievably detailed and specific. So I don't buy
AI.
Like, I don't buy that it wasn't thought about beforehand. Obviously, like, one of those things is like nothing ends up anywhere on accident. Like, you watch any movie, pay very close attention to what books are on a bookshelf, because if a movie is being made by people that actually care about their craft, they actually think about what books would actually represent this character who owns this home, right? That's a good way of thinking about how, or anytime we've talked about any celebrity, when they, like, what is it, like Jamie Lee Curtis with her creepy picture up behind her in her home. All of that stuff really does matter. But I also think that for a secular graphic designer and whoever they had that was doing the art for this, do I believe that they're at Bohemian Grove and they're chanting? No, I don't think that. I think that it falls somewhere in the lines of edgy atheism and just a secular world that then people who are religious certain images might trigger them a bit more than others. And obviously those ones were very specific. They mentioned in the article, they're like, that was like 15 seconds of the video you guys are reaching.
Yeah, I don't know what it was we said recently on the show, but it was something to the effect of the demand for X exceeds the supply of Y.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the demand for conspiracy
and demonic content
exceeds the supply of conspiracy evidence at this point. That goes for a lot of things, for wokeness maybe too.
Yeah.
But, we have these gimmick accounts, essentially. One of them is called Isaac's Army, which is named after Isaac Cappy. And you can look into his story. We actually did a video about the Tom Hanks conspiracy, which you can find later. But that specific X account tweeted out the video of this performance saying, popular American country rock band Zack Brown Band performed at the Las Vegas Sphere. As you can see here, he is performing a satanic ritual over his unsuspecting fans during the show. But not just that, this is a classic case of loosh harvesting.
What is that?
So, loosh is something that we talked about when we discussed the conspiracy theories surrounding JonBenet Ramsey.
Yes,
remember that?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so it's some sort of energy that, I don't know, the elites want to harvest from us common folk. Fear, anxiety, distress. It's sort of like the adrenochrome theory, but you can do it by... for instance, in the JonBenet Ramsey case, giving everyone this really harrowing story, this like tragedy about a little girl dying in a gruesome way, and it spreads across the country. It's in every tabloid, on every grocery store shelf, etc. And creating that energy of distress in a nation, in a society that can be harvested for nefarious purposes. That's my best understanding of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that, Isaac's Army could explain it better, but they do try to vague book all of these posts. I don't see how it's a demonic ritual, personally.
No, and the other thing
is... It just seems fake edgy.
The artist seems to have his own explanation. Like, am I supposed to believe that Zack Brown, I almost called him Zack Bryant, that Zack Brown, I guess, he met with, like, the Council of Elders for all that is evil, and they've all got their cloaks on? I'm not trying to be dismissive here, but it's just kind of ridiculous to me. Or is the idea that he believes everything that he just said? I don't even remember what his quote was now, but he was talking about, can you pull up his quote again? What was it that he said at the beginning of it?
I closed it. No, it was something about expressing the duality in all of us between love and fear.
Okay, so yeah, right there. Like, and I picture him at some type of production meeting where they're talking about what it's going to look like there, and he's explaining this. If we're to give him the credit, he's explaining this to the creative director there who's in charge of the visuals, and the guy's like, yeah. And then you can have like skulls and a crown of thorns. And then he's like, yeah. Like, I just find that more plausible than this guy unwittingly. I guess the whole purpose of the demonic ritual amongst fans would be to do it unwittingly, right? That's what they would say, is that you gain power from doing it against those that are unknown to what's going on. So do I think that that's what's going on here? No, I think that some secularists and some atheists got together, heard the duality of man, were like, skulls, bro. Like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, like the skull with the fire is literally like a child's idea of what's like evil, right? Or more even like an old-timey idea of evil, like the representation of evil, like, oh, like skulls and fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's just very simple. It's not even clever for what they were going for, in my opinion.
If anything, the most impressive thing about it is the technical mastery of like making that building look that way. And the visuals are actually quite awe-inspiring. I imagine if you got to see shows there live. I did like the one comment that said, I don't know one song they got that needs this.
No, yeah, that's the most like hilarious part of the whole thing. As I was reading about it the other day, I was like, the Zack Brown Band is performing a demonic ritual? Like, what kind of clown world headline is this?
It's like the famous video of Dave Matthews jumping around on stage like an idiot and says there isn't a single song in the Dave Matthews catalog that requires this.
No, not at all. What was that one? Country Fried, or was it Chicken Fried?
Chicken Fried, right?
Does Chicken Fried
was he the one who was married to who was the one married to Brianna Chicken Fry?
Oh, that was
Zack
they weren't married, but that was Zack Bryan, and I was just joking with you earlier.
It's all the same.
That, like, I can't keep track of these country singers. One of them is Zack Bryan, and another one is Zack Brown.
They all look alike.
Like, I'm not gonna pay attention to these people.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.